Hi, my name is Aycan Akcamete. I'm an assistant professor of comparative literature and theater arts, and I teach mostly performance studies, performance theory, and world drama and theater history. My research is on intercultural theater, and intercultural means like a theater that is a product of an encounter between two or more cultures. And I study a contemporary theater company in London called Arcola Theater. It was co-founded in 2000 by two immigrants from Turkey, and I look at their plays, intercultural plays, that are some of them are about political events, real life events in Turkey, and I look at their networks with especially theater critics. What brought me to my research is like a really long answer, but so I was always interested in these cultural interactions in theaters. So how does a text from another context travel and end up in another context? So when I was first became interested in this topic, I was an English major and I was also in graduate school studying English, and I was looking into mostly theaters in Turkey that were doing plays from Europe. And I was also working as a reviewer, like theater reviewer. And I was also working with some of these theater companies that had close connections to theaters in the UK, basically. But then when I came to the US for my graduate studies, I found myself more interested in looking into diaspora theater, especially with theater by people who are immigrants from Turkey. And I came across Arcola Theater, which is a perfect example of what I'm interested in. And their works are really significant because this diaspora provides a space for all these censored narratives, oppressed narratives to be performed on stage and reach different audiences. So one project that I'm really proud of is the project that I'm working on, and that is like the theater company that I told you about. It's Arcola Theater, and I really am proud in the sense that I am able to engage deeply with the works of one of the very few established Turkish diaspora theaters, Turkish Kurdish diaspora theater in Europe or outside of Turkey. So I'm really proud of that, and that's something that really gets me excited. And another thing that I am proud of is that the methodology or the approach to theater that I have in that book is a part of like a terminology and approach to theater criticism that I developed in my dissertation and that got published as a journal article. So I really like that it brings together both of my interest in theory and practice of theater in that book project. So where can students find me is I teach both in comparative literature and theater arts. So they can find me also in my office at PLC, but I teach mostly classes on performance studies and performance theory, which is a space where you can explore any interest you have and its connections to theater, from reality TV to fashion to like queer identity. So these are all the projects that my students are working on. I'm also teaching world drama. If you're interested in looking into plays and theater from all around the globe in the 20th century, that would be a good class if you're interested in it. And I'm also teaching theater history, which is a 3-sequence course that we have in theater arts. If you're interested in theater, you don't have to be a major or a minor. We have a lot of non-majors in that class also, and if you're interested, you can also find me in that class too. So I think a really valuable resource for students who are interested in theater is the university theater. So every year we have, normally this season we have 3 productions, but normally we have 5 productions. And it's the whole creative and the cast consists of students, and they don't have to be majors to participate in theater, and they can choose whatever they want to do, from acting to set design to costume design. So that would give you a really very unique experience and be really hands-on experience on what it feels like to do theater. And it's related to that is also we have a university theater that is run by students called Pocket Playhouse. And if they're interested in that kind of a space, then they can also join Pocket Playhouse. So for students, pursuing research in theater, what I would suggest is, well, I think like having a theory background, because I am both, I joined appointment in comparative literature and theater arts. Theory is really important to us in comparative literature, which also helps students have a really grounded analysis and approach to any work that they're analyzing. So I feel like my advice is bringing that scholarly aspect with the practice of theater. So there's also a dimension to theater where like you practice the practice of it. So what I would suggest is taking both of these and bringing them together in their research. And something that would help them is having a hands-on experience, like joining the university theater productions or in any other theater, and experiencing what it's like to actually do theater, because the research will be informed by that as well. And another thing, brief suggestion I have is also just following what is happening in the theater world. Who are the new playwrights, emerging playwrights? What is happening and maybe out there in the world, in other countries? What are some of the works that come out? Just following the global trends will also help you keep track of what's happening in the theater world.